Hello everyone, and welcome to the Red Door Yoga Mini Sutra series online. It's good to be here with you again today. Today I wanted to talk about the idea that you cannot move from here unless you've been in your stuff. Okay? And what I mean by that is all of us have stuff. That stuff are our attachments, our aversions, the things that cause us suffering, the things that we really don't want to face down. They are difficult and uncomfortable for us. And you cannot actually move from that place unless you are willing to be in that place, unless you are willing to be uncomfortable, unless you are willing to actually experience the suffering that arises from you interacting with that stuff. This is very, very important. The reason that we develop stuff to begin with, and that stuff, by the way, in yoga we refer to it as a samskara. The reason we develop samskaras to begin with is because we're unwilling to have an experience. So we are in the midst of an experience, it comes up, and we have an aversion to it, and we go, no, I don't really want to have this experience. This is uncomfortable. This is not desirable to me. And it can actually, by the way, go the other way, where it comes up and we go, oh, this is awesome. And we've all heard this phrase, and we may even have used it, where we go, I never want this to end. But either way, there's an aversion or there's an attachment that comes up regarding that experience, and you kind of clamp down on it. Now, interestingly, let's use the second one, because the second one's the harder one to understand, where we're in the middle of an experience, we go, this is awesome, I never want this to end. The interesting thing is the moment we say, I never want this to end, what's actually happening is we have shifted our focus from having the experience that we say we're enjoying, and we've shifted it to the fear of it ending. We are actually focused on the end, and now we're in that place where we're no longer having the experience, we are now having the experience of fear of this ending. Okay, and so the first one is the easier one to understand, where an experience comes up and we're averse to it, and so we go, I don't want this, so I'm going to step out of this experience. I'm not going to have this experience. I'm going to do my best to kind of disembody myself from this experience. But the point is, either way, we are disembodying, even when we say we're loving this experience and we want it to continue forever. So the only way for us to actually move from this place, to get unstuck, is to actually have the experience and not spend our time either chasing it or trying to push it away. So we really have to be there, and we have to notice what that experience feels like. Now, I'm going to use anger for a second, okay? Because anger is a really good one. Where you're having an experience and anger arises in you, it becomes really important that in order for you to move out of that place of anger, for this not to follow you now in the future, you really need to actually be angry. Just take a moment to acknowledge that this experience is occurring, and then become really curious about what it feels like. So for me, as an example, when I get angry, and we all do, when I get angry, oftentimes I feel it in my solar plexus area, which is just beneath where the diaphragm is. Sometimes it's lower, sometimes it's deeper than that. But the point is, it doesn't feel like anger. When I actually become curious about this anger, what it feels like is some form of sensation that is building in tension, and then it starts to move, and it changes, and it morphs. And so, when we label an experience, we go, that sucks, okay? That's anger. Whatever it is that we we label it as, or this is awesome. When we put a label, the moment we put a label, the mind disengages from actually being present with the experience. So most of us don't really know what those experiences are like, because we have disengaged from the moment. We haven't actually noticed it. When I described what, anger feels like to me, did it sound a little weird? What I mean by that is that the first place your mind went to when you thought of anger, when you thought of what anger feels like, okay? The heat and everything else that comes up with anger, that's interestingly secondary. When I become very curious about it, it feels like it occurs in a particular part of my body, and it feels like a certain amount of pressure, and then it moves like a snake and changes and morphs and very quickly disappears. That's important. Very quickly disappears. The experience that you're either attached to or averse to, it's transient. It's temporary. And it's over like that if you actually have the experience. And it doesn't matter what the emotion, what the experience is. That is the truth of the world. Everything is transient. So be present, have the experience. And once you do, your life can actually flow. You're less likely to get stuck in stuff that follows you for years. And again, we all have stuff. So what I'm going to suggest to you is that the easiest way to get unstuck is to take a moment here and now to step back into an experience that you pushed away. And it doesn't have to be actually occurring. All you have to do is bring that experience to mind. And the moment you start having an emotion regarding that experience, I want you to step out of the story and just step into the emotion. What does this feel like? Become curious. And as you practice becoming curious in the face of the memory or the actual experience that's occurring in front of you, the less stuck you will become. You may notice it instantaneously, or you may notice it the next time, or the time after that this thing comes up again, that is becoming less and less sticky. I hope this was helpful, everyone, and it was a pleasure being here with you. If you found this helpful, please do like the video, share it with others. We're always looking to expand the Red Door Yoga community online. We're here to serve you, and so with that in mind, please do also in the comments let us know what you would like to hear from us about. Okay? Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful rest of your day, wherever you are, whenever you are, and we'll see you again online very, very soon. Namaste.